All right, today we're stepping out of the bright lights of fight night, and we're heading straight into the gritty, unglamorous shadows of the gym. In this explainer, we're going to reveal the true blueprint of an elite fighter's camp. Because what you actually see in the ring, that's really just the final product of months of grueling, highly scientific preparation. Let's dive right in.
Look, we need to bust a pretty popular myth right out of the gate. Those boxer-inspired fitness classes you see online, the casual cardio sessions with the tiny dumbbells, they're absolutely fantastic for general health, but they definitely do not build world champions. A genuine pro fight camp is a highly engineered system. It's built on 5 core pillars, designed specifically to forge devastating power and a practically endless gas tank. So, here's how we're going to assemble this high-performance human machine. We'll break it down across 5 distinct pillars: morning road work and conditioning, technical boxing sessions, sparring and situational drills, strength, power, and plyometrics, and finally, recovery and mobility. Let's get right to work.
Starting off with pillar number 1, morning road work and conditioning.
60 to 90 minutes. That is the time spent building the foundation, and it usually happens in the dark, isolated hours before the rest of the world is even awake. Now, the purpose here is twofold. You're building a massive aerobic base, but you're also forging unbreakable mental grit. I mean, think about it. A 12-round professional fight is literally a war of attrition. The fighter who can somehow maintain their output, stay light on their feet, and actually think clearly in those exhausting final championship rounds, that's almost always the one whose hand gets raised. And that physical and mental capacity is built right here in these 60 to 90 minutes. And this routine is highly progressive. It's not just throwing on some shoes and running aimlessly. Step 1 is a solid 10 to 15-minute dynamic warm-up. We're talking light jogging, leg swings, torso twists, just to prep the joints. Step 2 is the actual road work, which usually varies between 3 to 5 miles of steady-state running or high-intensity interval work to really build up that anaerobic capacity. And then step 3 is a brutal 15-minute finisher. That means 3 to 5 rounds of jump rope when they are already completely exhausted, followed by a punishing core circuit of planks and Russian twists. This exact schedule is what prevents a fighter's body from betraying them under the lights. Actually, let's zoom in on that interval work for a second. Modern camps will often swap out those long, slow jogs for something much more violent: hill sprints. It involves finding a steep incline and sprinting up it for 15 seconds at absolute maximum effort, walking back down, and then repeating that 10 to 12 times. It's a completely visceral, long-burning exercise, but it develops the explosive leg drive required to deliver powerful knockout punches late in the fight, right when a fighter's legs would otherwise feel like heavy lead.
Moving on to pillar number 2, technical boxing sessions.
90 to 120 minutes. So here we're basically shifting from building the engine to programming the driver. Because honestly, world-class cardio is completely useless without the actual signs of pugilism. During this block, there's zero focus on conditioning or lifting weights. The focus is purely on form, timing, footwork, and precision. This is where raw technique gets burned into permanent muscle memory.
And just like the road work, this technical session follows a very strict progressive structure. It kicks off with jump rope and light shadow boxing to prime the body. Then, they move into 3 to 5 rounds of specifically themed shadow boxing. So maybe one round is entirely focused on footwork, and the next is nothing but head movement. Then they add the impact. 4 to 6 rounds on the heavy bag, just digging in brutal power combinations. After that comes reactive mitt work with the coach for another 4 to 6 rounds. And finally, they close it all out with 3 to 4 rounds on the speed bag. That consistent patterning sound you hear in gyms, that isn't about power. It hones the fighter's ability to stay relaxed and keep a rhythm while keeping their hands moving. Now, what happens in step 4, the mitt work, is absolutely the centerpiece of a fighter's technical development. Think about it. A heavy bag just hangs there, right? But a world-class coach on the mitts creates a highly dynamic, reactive environment. It forces the fighter to react, counter, defend, and actively think under pressure. It sharpens the spear for maximum efficiency in a way that stationary equipment literally never could. Which brings us to pillar number 3, sparring and situational drills. You can think of this as the crash test for everything they've learned so far. While sparring 8 to 10 rounds against rotating partners is definitely a given, pro camps rely heavily on situational drills. This is where a coach will purposefully place a fighter in an incredibly disadvantageous spot, say pinned against the ropes against a relentless pressure fighter, and just force them to problem-solve their way out under fire. They are intentionally simulating the absolute worst-case scenarios of a real bout, so that if it actually happens under the lights, the fighter doesn't panic.
And all of this sparring and drilling, It's really serving one paramount trait: fight IQ. Running miles and hitting the bag for hours mean absolutely nothing if you freeze up the second someone punches back. Fight IQ is that crucial adaptability, timing, and confidence that is only forged by navigating the chaos of a live, resisting opponent. It is completely born in the crucible of intense sparring.
All right, pillar number 4, strength, power, and plyometrics.
Okay, we need to explicitly destroy a really persistent myth right now. For decades, old-school trainers swore up and down that lifting heavy weights makes a fighter slow and muscle-bound. Yeah, that myth is dead. The modern philosophy entirely embraces explosive strength. A stronger fighter punches harder, they clinch stronger, and they are simply more resilient overall. It's not about bodybuilding, it is all about weaponizing raw force.
So how do they do it? Methodically. CAMs target fast-twitch muscle fibers. We start with compound lifts, think barbell squats and trap bar deadlifts, to build a powerful raw base. Next up, plyometrics. Medicine ball throws and swing a massive sledgehammer onto a tire. That specific rotational explosiveness translates directly into one-punch knockout force. And finally, heavy core work, like weighted Russian twists. A rock-solid core is exactly what allows the efficient transfer of force from the ground up through the body and straight into the fist. This exact routine is what turns a technically sound boxer into a terrifying knockout artist.
And finally, pillar number 5, recovery and mobility.
Let's deliberately slow down the pace here for a second. With all the brutal punishment the body takes across those first 4 pillars, this quiet necessity of maintenance is really what keeps a career alive, 100%. That is the entire goal of this active repair block: to get the fighter showing up to the next training session and ultimately to fight night at exactly 100%. Because without proper recovery, performance doesn't just dip a little bit, it tanks, and the risk of a career-ending injury absolutely skyrockets.
And look, recovery is definitely not a passive rest day on the couch. It is a dedicated 60 to 90-minute active routine. Fighters quickly move through some crucial tools: a light jog or bike ride just for blood flow, dynamic stretching, and then a solid 20 to 25 minutes of deep, static stretching to really open up the hips and shoulders. They use extensive foam rolling for tissue quality. Then come the 10 to 15-minute ice baths or contrast therapy to manage the soreness. But it's also highly mental. Quiet visualization, breathing exercises to calm the central nervous system down, and even journaling to maintain some mental clarity amidst the absolute chaos of camp.
Ultimately, the recovery block is the glue that holds a fighter's entire training camp together. This holistic system isn't just an afterthought. It's a required foundational pillar built on decades of trial and error in the world's most demanding sport. It ensures the athlete can actually survive the grueling training camp they've designed in the first place.
So, there you have it. The 5 core pillars are out there for anyone to see. From the grueling morning road work to the absolute technical mastery, the violent sparring, the explosive powerlifting, and the meticulous recovery, the blueprint to becoming a professional boxer is no secret at all. The real question is, do you have the relentless grit to survive day 1?